I can't. I can't. Calm down, calm down, brother. Come to the fight. They probably gonna get you up.
Because Lamont Roach can fight, and he thinks he's going to see the better Gervonta Davis, come out this time. I certainly hope we do.
Gervonta Davis enters the rematch with unwavering confidence, boldly declaring his intention to dominate Lamont Roach. He stakes a hefty $5 million on knocking Roach out, demonstrating full belief in his skills while dismissing any talk of an upset. Davis's certainty reflects his desire to silence doubters and reassert his dominance in the ring.
Beat his ass.
Wait, I don't give a
man, be quiet.
I don't give a y'all. Y'all, if y'all are black,
they got the whole hood over there. Like, pushed it up. I don't give a fuck.
Can do whatever
I don't care
y'all
about
want.
nothing.
My mother, he can't stop
no
nothing
hood,
over here.
none of that.
Not at all.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna f him up.
Not at all. Never. Nothing's gonna get up over here. When do I look like him?
Okay.
That ain't never gonna stop nothing over here.
And he gonna pay for it.
I can't.
Pay for it.
I can't. Calm down, calm down, brother.
Come to the fight.
They probably gonna get you up. Look, fool. Hey, fool. This me and you, fool. This me and you, fool.
Tank.
This me and you, fool.
Yeah.
Don't worry about them. They might get you. They gonna trick you off the spot. They gonna trick you off the spot, fool. Don't worry about them.
Come on, stop. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know how I'm coming. Y'all know how I'm coming. So stop it. Y'all gonna make it hard for him. That's what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna make it hard for him.
The anticipation for this rematch rekindles memories of Floyd Mayweather's first fight with Marcos Maidana. Maidana initially overwhelmed Mayweather, leading many to believe he would win the rematch. Yet, Mayweather adjusted his strategy and outclassed Maidana in their second encounter. Similarly, Roach looked superior in their first bout, but Davis is known for his ability to adapt and improve, giving him a second chance to change the narrative.
We're back again with some more boxing news in our boxing room. Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach for the rematch on the horizon. It will be happening this year, and it will be happening very, very soon. This is the thing, you see. If y'all agree with me on what I'm about to tell y'all, I want y'all to throw the thumbs up, because this is what's gonna happen. If y'all remember the Mayweather and Maidana match, where everybody thought Maidana beat Mayweather in the first match when they fought each other, like he dominated him, he beat him. Same thing goes here. Lamont Roach, everybody's saying that he dominated Gervonta Davis, but it's not going to happen in the rematch. Gervonta Davis is going to dominate Lamont Roach. If y'all agree with me on what I'm telling y'all, just like the Mayweather-Maidana fight, I'm trying to tell you, Lamont Roach is going to lose in the rematch, and that's a guarantee. That's not a prediction, that is a spoiler. If y'all agree with me, throw a thumbs up. And if you ain't got eat up, keep the news. Subscribe.
Following a controversial first encounter, Davis made significant changes to his training regimen. He brought in a new coaching staff to refine his techniques and sharpen his focus. This decision was both strategic and personal, aimed at eliminating distractions and ensuring total dedication. With fresh training methods, Davis is preparing to erase past mistakes and prove himself anew.
Yo, what's going on, Fight Gang? Check it out. It looks like Gervonta Davis has a new coach. And this is coaching stopper. He's a well-known coach down in the Atlanta area. And looks like something training with him. You know, he has an Australian match coming up, and looks like it's slated for June. Now, this coach is known for his working on timing, precision, accuracy. Those are some of the things that this coach is well known for. He's also been training Kevin Farmer for his past 2 fights. Now, what does this mean for Tank? Is he leaving Coach Kyle and Coach Kenny, or adding Coach Mustafa to the team? Is it smart to switch trainers so close to a fight? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below.
This rematch isn't just another fight, it's arguably the most talked about of the year. Lamont Roach is the only opponent to truly challenge Davis recently, leaving fans questioning whether Roach was lucky or genuinely better. The upcoming clash promises clarity whether Roach can repeat or improve his performance, or if Davis can re-establish his dominance. Stakes include reputation, legacy, and pride.
promoter Gary Jonas shed some light on the negotiations for the rematch. While he didn't give too many details, Jonas did say that the second bout between Davis and Roach Jr. is all but finalized. Let's hear what he got to say right now.
Important question on everyone's mind: how close is the rematch? How big will it be? How close is it to getting done?
Very close. In my mind, it's a done deal, but there are formalities, but it's a done deal. It's not far off.
Roach approaches the fight with humility, faith, and unwavering determination. His calm demeanor stands in contrast to typical pre-fight bravado. He relies on his work ethic, trusting his preparation and believing in a higher purpose guiding him. This mental strength has carried him through challenges and elevated his performance, making him more than just a physical contender. He's spiritually and emotionally prepared.
Who am I here with today?
Roach Jr.
I don't know who you are, man. What do you do for a living?
And I box.
How long have you been boxing for?
I've been boxing since I was 9 years old, so 20 years.
How old were you when you made your first million?
I was 29.
You made some money. What's the best piece of advice about money you've received throughout your career?
Save that money gonna save you.
Has there ever been one experience where you spent too much money than you thought you should have? That you regret?
That I regret? No, but there's been a lot of times where I shouldn't have spent as much money as I did.
Is there one piece of advice that now that you've been boxing for a couple of years, you can tell your younger self about boxing?
My advice to my younger self would be keep going. You're gonna end up exactly where you're supposed to be at. As long as you work hard, put your faith in God, and you just keep pushing.
What made you really stand out as a boxer?
My hard work, determination to be the best.
Is there one boxer that you think inspires you the most with your play style?
I take bits and pieces from all boxers, even some of my opponents and stuff like that.
Anyone specifically?
No, not necessarily.
What keeps you motivated to keep pushing hard still?
It's definitely hard for me to give up because I know what's at stake. I know what can happen. I know what can happen with hard work. But if I ever feel like giving up, my motivation would be my son, my family, the ones who behind me 100%. They've been down at the bottom with me, so they coming up top with me.
Where can they find you on social media, man?
101X.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
While verbal exchanges have intensified, ultimately, words count for little once the bell rings. The true test begins in the ring where fighters' skills and resilience are revealed. Once the punches start flying, all the online chatter and interviews fade away. The outcome will settle the debate who is the better fighter when all is said and done.
I want to know when is the rematch going to happen at this point? Because I'm just going to lie, it'll be a whole month later and y'all still arguing over who actually won. It's just really like, okay, yeah, run it back because we got to go ahead and settle this. Squabble this up. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say neither fighter in here is shitty, okay? Because after the fight I seen on March 1st, yeah, they both was tagging shit. Both getting up with each other, okay? I thought it was a perfect match. We was going to do a rematch with video, period. Gervonta was stinging him. I'm not going to lie. He was stinging him. Great fight for him. But I'm not going to lie. He came out knowing what he was trying to do. Y'all have to give it to him. Like, y'all just be hating, okay? Y'all can't get in the ring and fucking fight. Y'all just hate. Please don't give them those day props, okay? Because Gervonta had a great fight. Don't get me wrong. My money was on him. But I think what messed him up was the fact that when he came out, y'all know he usually be 2 steps ahead. He was 3 steps ahead. I think he already had things figured out. He definitely was not expecting that. Him, on the other hand, I think he came in really having something to prove. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, it was a really good fight, and I feel like this is how I see it. In the beginning of the fight, he was thinking back to back, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the fight, that's when he finally kicked it up. But I seen consistency for him through the whole fight. I go around like, so I feel like the rematch should happen because you never know. He might, now that he was 3 steps ahead, become 8 steps ahead. He might really knock his butt down, but at the end of the day, it's like, we need this rematch because I don't think this is ever going to be a dispute that is settled and, you know, officially he won, he lost until they fight. Like, we gotta see it.
After facing skepticism and criticism, Davis steps into the ring with a point to prove. His focus, sharpness, and drive have become his motivation. Working tirelessly in training, he aims to dominate and dispel any doubts about his prime. Every detail is being scrutinized. Davis is determined to leave a lasting statement beyond just a win.
Everybody really think Tank go take the L. I've been seeing it. They said it's over. They think that this time Lamont go in more confident, knowing that basically he can, really take it to Tank. Yeah, I want him to go in there confident. He's very skilled. Go in there confident. Because you gonna go up against a different Tank. Like I told y'all in previous videos. You gonna go in there confident, thinking he could walk Tank down. Don't forget, with Tank, if he get you on that button, them lights going off, I don't care who you is. Remember how it ended up with Frank Martin? So yeah, don't go in there thinking that you going against like somebody that like Ryan Garcia, somebody that let's go fold. We're going against Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that confidence is what's going to get Lamont dropped. Because one thing I will say, with Tank, that wasn't your best fight against Lamont, bro. I feel like you was in your head too much. You was overconfident. And you was really just, your mind was in y'all story, the lore and everything with y'all history. You ain't going there like I'm fighting a stranger. You going there like, oh, this Lamont. This from the same camp. We from the same area. But now I think that whole situation woke him up. Because you got to think, Tank not used to losing. He not used to people being against him. He not used to being the one that like got to step back from a situation. That's why I think he being hushed right now. Because when he come this time, it ain't no talking. And that's why I think it's scary, because we never see Tank in that mode where he don't say a word. I think this gonna be a different Tank. And what's crazy is Tank used to be like that in the beginning. Like when he was with Floyd, like when I'm talking Tank with the fade, with the waves, bro. He ain't used to be on that showboat and stuff until he got like, you know, a little bit more in the boxing, you know, thing. Of course, once you with Floyd, you gonna start being flashy and doing backflips off the ring. But in his beginning stages, dude wasn't playing. He was dropping shit. I think that's what he about to go to, bro. And you know that people like, man, did he take Calvin off his team? No, he said Calvin his boy. I think he's just rocking with somebody else right now to give him some sharper skills, you know, to change up his skill and what people know him by. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I think Tank go take Lamont. And that's not me being biased. I think we ain't ever seen Tank like this before.
Roach has displayed discipline and focus throughout the build-up, fully aware of the stakes. He views this rematch as a new war, not just a continuation of their previous battle. Not overconfident, Roach remains alert, analyzing Davis's improvements and preparing for every scenario. His mental maturity and professionalism could prove decisive, especially if emotional factors come into play.
Do you think he really wins that rematch with Lamont Roach?
I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. It's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I don't know, honestly. I really don't know.
Does a lot of it hinge on Gervonta and like which version he shows up with? No disrespect to Roach, but you know what I mean.
No, that is disrespect for the Roach, and like y'all fight fans gotta realize that is disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, he in there fighting another grown man that ain't going for none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you don't think Roach is gonna come with another game plan or something better or this, that, and third. So when they have a rematch, are y'all still gonna say, oh, Tank still not his full self ever since he fought whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like, Roach is a hell of a fighter. He proved he was a hell of a fighter, so you need to get that credit. He's a hell of a fighter. I don't know who's gonna win that rematch. I honestly feel like Tank is losing love for the sport, or he lost the love for the sport, and he's no longer hungry anymore.
That's what I'm getting.
Yet you got a guy that's just super hungry and never had no attention, now getting all his attention, and now you get around two of his attention. Is like, shit, it's kind of hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Tank is still a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's 50-50. And to your point, we were saying, hey, he lost love of the sport. I don't really think Canelo got the same love he had for the sport when he was coming up.
To sharpen his edge, Davis has enlisted renowned trainer Kenny Ellis, known for strict routines, meticulous attention to detail, and psychological preparation. Under Ellis's guidance, Davis is refining his technique, boosting stamina, and strengthening his mental game. This holistic approach aims to produce a more balanced, focused, and ultimately more dangerous fighter ready to reclaim his spot at the top.
He's one of the best trainers in boxing, second guy in the corner. Is responsible for a lot of the real tactical decisions and tactical analysis that goes on in Gervonta Davis's corner. So you have Coach Calvin, and Coach Calvin is the head trainer, and you have Coach Kenny, who really specializes on preparing game plans specifically for opponents. So to have him talk about what's going on with Lamont Roach, I thought was interesting and insightful, because what he said was that, one, he's not falling for the okie doke. When Mill City asked him, hey, what do you think about the fact that, Lamont Roach was seen at a basketball game chugging a beer? And I would have added to the question that you see Lamont Roach out giving a bunch of interviews, doing the interview circuit, right? Kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is, we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all of that. You know, he says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to, that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before, a lot of really crisp shots landing.
The first fight exposed weaknesses in Davis's performance: sluggish reactions, fading energy, and unpreparedness. Roach capitalized on these openings, changing the pace and exploiting vulnerabilities. Now, Davis has the opportunity to rewrite that narrative. If he can maintain his early sharpness and stamina, he can deliver a complete performance from start to finish, leaving no room for doubt.
Davis, draw with Lamont Roach. People looking at it as controversial because of the whole knee. What do you think of the fight?
It was a great fight, I had his 7-5 tank where you can make it a draw, but I feel like Lamont, he did good. He did a good job, actually. I just don't think he did enough to pull it off. And I feel like people was overlooking what Tank was doing in the first 5 rounds. He was boxing and frustrating a little bit. But Lamont, like I said before, he did a great job.
Yeah, some people had it Tank, some people had it draw, some people had it Lamont. Do you think Tank gets a lot of criticism for not knocking Lamont out and Lamont not being a big name, so they overblow it?
I think so, yeah. And I feel like people just don't like the Tank to a point where any little thing, because he ain't knock him out, he probably feel like feeling good that he lost and he didn't, or it was a draw. I feel like Tank was doing a lot of smart things in the beginning. Moving a little bit too much, but I feel like he was still frustrating and things like that. I think Tank did a good job. He looked sharp to me. I don't know. People just be talking. At the end of the day, you can't please everybody.
Were you surprised that Lamont was in spots winning the exchanges and kind of caught Tank with some good shots that he visibly I got to reset?
Veteran trainer Teddy Atlas highlights that Davis's true danger lies in his intelligence, his ability to think, observe, and adapt. Rather than rushing, Davis calculates each move and adjusts his approach dynamically. This mental flexibility makes him unpredictable and potentially the key to winning the rematch. If harnessed fully, Davis's strategic mindset could tip the scales decisively in his favor.
He's going to try to get to us, but we're going to frustrate him. He doesn't get frustrated. He takes his time. He's deliberate. A lot of times at the beginning, people thought he was just a seek and destroy missile. They thought he was just a guy that got to you. And they thought that he would get over anxious. He don't get over anxious. He takes his time. He slowly crosses closes those gaps. Inch by inch, step by step, and then he gets to you.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.